I was very kind of drawn by the variety of the course. So while I feel like other university courses were very much focused on performance, although I think it's something which I wanted to pursue, I wanted to kind of get a broader range of experience, so very similar to what you said, kind of music technology, studio work, maybe promotion and stuff like that, which I think weren't as emphasized in different courses than in Sheffield. Performance is something which gives us opportunities to play in front of our classmates, which is kind of a very exposing environment, because you're performing in front of other fellow musicians who are kind of looking for little mistakes and little details. So there's kind of a more of a degree of a stress in that, which I think is really good, because it's good experience to learn to deal with that. And yeah, I think that's really helped me to grow as a performer. And one of the other modules which I would mention is orchestral technique, which has been one of the most, I'd say, intense modules so far, and intense in the best possible way, because I feel like I've learned so much doing it, because it was very practical, it was very hands-on, it was done in weekly assignments which were very focused. So I think if I kind of compared my knowledge of when I started and when I finished the module, it was a massive difference. And when I kind of brought what I've learned in that module to composition, for example, I feel like my skill set is so much wider than it was before.
At first, the first module we did here, like our first lecture, was world music, and I think it was very important because it's a module that stresses how it is important to pay attention to the music of the world, not only to the Western classical music, but to everything. And I think that was really brilliant, because it actually sets us the mindset to actually what we're going to experience throughout the entire course. So this was definitely a highlight. But I would say orchestral techniques as well. The modules related to music production, definitely. I mean, I love being here around the studios. It's just it's our second home, I think. Yeah, composition, everything.
I would say confidence is something which I've kind of grown in, because one of the great things about being here in Sheffield is that you get many opportunities to lead, which I think has been really great for me, because as a leader you have to be confident, you have to not only be confident in speaking in front of other people, but really kind of believing in your own vision. So like when you conduct an orchestra, you have to have a vision in the first place of what you'd like the piece to sound like, and you have to believe that it's the right vision, and then kind of try to inspire and lead people towards fulfilling that vision. So I think confidence is something which really I've grown in since being here in Sheffield.
There's something very interesting. When I first started studying here, I pretty much believed that my focus would be jazz guitar and composition, which still are two things that I'm really interested in. But the fact that we have these studios here, and when I started studying the music technology and I really started enjoying working in the studios. And last year I would spend my entire day here, learning by myself how to use them. And I feel very pleased that we actually have the chance to use so many good equipments here. I started towards the end of the year. I was already recording some people. I recorded 3 people in very different projects. There's a folk project from a friend of mine, a pop rock project, and our own band. So I think that I'm very grateful for the university to have these studios for us. Yeah. Once again, it's such a supportive community. So if you have different ensembles in the university and you start working with them, so you can work with them as a performer, you can work with them being a sound engineer, as we did a lot of times. You can work with them writing something for these ensembles. So that's great. I think how it's such a tight community and everybody's helping each other all the time. I would also say that the experience of being international students also plays a huge part in it. You arrive and you're kind of afraid if you're going to have friends, if you're going to adapt to the new environment, to the new culture. And being in Sheffield is such a welcoming place. The department is so friendly, everybody knows each other, and we have such a supportive community here. And I think that this really helps to international students to feel at home. And this experience of feeling at home somewhere else, it's certainly a life-changing experience. I see myself pretty much as a songwriter and a performer, so I definitely want to follow a career in music. But also, the experience in the studios here made me really think about working as a music producer. It's a job that deals with everything that I'm interested in. So composing, performing, arranging, conducting even. So I definitely see myself as a music producer, and this was because of the university and because we have access to the studios.
Yeah. For me, I think there are several areas which I'm kind of thinking of considering. But I'd say the main one would be composition in various different areas. So composition of film music especially, because film as a media is something which I'm very passionate about and something which I've done before, even before uni. And I think I've gained skills necessary for that career here in this course, whether that's orchestration or composition, whether that's leadership, whether that's working with the orchestra, working with the ensemble. So this is something which I would really like to focus on, and whether that's in film, whether that's in theatre or musical theatre. Maybe not necessarily the best, but one of the best things here so far was taking part in the Sheffield University Performing Arts Society production of Into the Woods, which has been basically a 2-night run, and it's been, first of all, it's an amazing show, which it's such a powerful show, which I think really touched me, just purely musically and as a piece of theatre, but also just it's been such an amazing experience as a community, because Performing Arts Society is a society which is run very closely and very tightly. It's very community oriented. So it's not just about kind of putting on great shows, which definitely is part of it, but also about kind of making friends and being part of a community of people who are working towards something. And that's been something which has definitely been a highlight of my last year, and I really enjoyed that. It's been amazing.
I would say it's been the opportunity of recording my songs. So I've made so many friends in the music department, people that are amazing musicians, and I think having been able to ask them to play for something that I'm creating and seeing this ending result, it's been great. It's actually like, it's been my dream to actually be able to record my songs and being provided with this environment and meeting the people that are there to make it happen and making this lifetime friendships. I think this is it's so valuable, so precious. I think if you believe that being a musician requires varied, flexible skills, if you believe that you're interested in music as a whole, if you're interested in music because of music and not in a specific style, and not in a specific part of music, but in music as a whole, then this is definitely the place that you should come.
I would say that Sheffield is amazing because in here you will get a chance to lead and to really make your vision come into reality. And you will get a chance to perform in all kinds of different settings and grow as a performer, grow in your confidence in kind of exposing yourself and performing in front of other people. And you'll also get a chance to delve very deeply into things you're passionate about, into things you're interested about.